Dot. Hello, it's Nemesis Nick here with my Christmas message to everyone in the Roller Coaster Club of Great Britain. As a club, we've had our fair share of UK club trips this year. In April, we had the TV comedies themed Blackpool Bash. For various reasons, I decided not to attend the Blackpool Bash again this year, which must have disappointed plenty of other members again. Anyway, I still enjoyed various members' photos and videos of the trip, including the Saturday evening TV comedies themed Coaster Crazy show, and it's clear that everyone had a wonderful time. However, I was mystified as to what some members' outfits had to do with the TV comedies theme. I recognised Citizen Smith, but I at the time I had never heard of a TV comedy show called Dinner Ladies. Since then, we had the Summer Bash at Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach on Saturday the 28th of June. When this trip was first announced a year ago, I quite fancied going because one, the last time the RCCGB Summer Bash took place in 2008, I went and enjoyed it very much. It was a beautiful sunny day for starters, and two, I thought it would be a smaller manageable. I thought the Summer Bash would be a smaller, more manageable trip for me than the annual Blackpool Bash, which, since the pandemic, I've seen as a rather demanding trip. In the end, for various reasons, I decided not to attend the Summer Bash 2025. For example, would I enjoy it as much as I did in 2008 after the novelty of it first time around? Not to mention the hassle of having to book a B&B for 2 nights and travelling to Great Yarmouth and back on a series of trains via London, including an underground crossing. For the record, I've had an aversion to travelling on the London Underground or similar systems anywhere else since the pandemic. Anyway, at the time I saw a few attendees' photos on Facebook, and it appeared those who went had a coaster crazy time at Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach and Joyland. I was shocked to hear about the closure of Oakwood theme park back in the spring. Many thanks to Andy Hine for a special news flash issue of Airtime Online breaking the news of this. Anyway, the trip to Folly Farm still went ahead on the original planned date, including the evening EFS, but for various reasons I decided not to go. It occurred to me once this trip was over, some attendees must have had the feeling that the day at Folly Farm was the main course of RCCGB Megaglomania weekend, if you still want to call it that, rather than the starter as in previous years, and that the evening EFS and meal were the climax grand finale of the main part, rather than what I've tended to call the night before the main event, Oakwood. The remaining UK trips this year were Woodathon at Alton Towers and Drayton Manor Park on the last weekend of September, and the meet-up at Winter Wonderland Hyde Park on the 22nd of November. For various reasons, I decided not to go to any of those trips either. The upshot of that is I've been for another whole year of not attending a club trip anywhere. Anyway, thank you very much, Andy Hine, aka Nev, for organising all this year's trips, including Folly Farm Fun Day. It's good that you've decided to keep that trip on the calendar despite the closure of Oakwood. Aside from club trips, I've not had my own personal trip to an amusement park, theme park or fun fair anywhere this year, which is a pity. Once again, I did consider having my own trip to Funland Hailing Island one Saturday in September or October this year, but never got round to it. Thus, I've not ridden a coaster or any other ride this year. Although didn't attend any club trips this year. I did take part in the Christmas quiz last Friday evening, in which I scored 35 points, which was a big drop on my score for last year. Thankfully, that score is still within the Goodricks band. Thank you very much, Nev, for producing the quiz question and answer videos. They must be time-consuming to make. By not attending any trips or using any members' discounts the last 5 years, I appreciate I've not got full membership. I appreciate I've not got full benefit of my membership. At least I've received my regular issues and occasional bonus issues of airtime online, which I am most grateful and thankful for. Thank you, Nev, for producing those issues. Looking ahead to 2026, I haven't even renewed my membership yet. I ought to do that in the next few days. But don't forget, back in the old days, I think it was January or February, possibly even March, when members were sent their printed paper renewal form to return with a cheque. If it's any comfort, I haven't renewed my membership for my Eurovision scoreboard either yet. Hopefully, with a bit of luck, I might possibly feel like attending a roller coaster club trip sometime in 2026 and end my long drought of not attending club trips. The Blackpool Bash 2026 will have a rock and pop theme, so if I do go, I could wear my Choose Life t-shirt to the Saturday evening function in the Paradise Room. That will tie in with the 1984 Wham performance of Wake Me Up Before You Go on Top of the Pops. Bear in mind, I don't want to spend a lot of money on an outfit I'll wear for about 4 to 5 hours one evening in April and possibly never wear again. Time will tell whether or not I'll feel like attending a Blackpool Bash 2026. I'll have the first few months of 2026 in which to think about it and decide. In the meantime, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to Andy Hine and everyone else in the club.